Have a cup of coffee, sit back and relax. It's time for John and Gordy on WMDX.
This is like WKRP's theme, isn't it? Kind of pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Up and down the dial.
Yes, that's
Good morning, Madison.
Yes, good morning, Madison.
Yeah.
John Peterson, Gordy Young,
WMDX.
our producer, Dom Lee. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Rise and shine. Shake a leg up and Adam, top of the morning to you.
Well, there's a lot of federal government workers not going to work today.
The government shut down. You noticed? Yeah, it happened at midnight.
Time to party.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Here we go.
It's just so ridiculous to think that the Democrats, who aren't in charge of anything at this point, are being blamed for the shutdown. I think,
of course they are.
If the Republicans wanted to take responsibility for anything, it's for the shutdown. I mean, they're the ones that can vote to keep the government open if they wanted to, unless there's some kind of problem with the vote on their side of the aisle. I don't know, where they need some Democratic help. Maybe, it has more to do with the Republicans shutdown than it has anything else, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to ride this out. Everybody's blaming everybody else, and
Well,
it's
that's
nobody's
wrong.
fault.
It's really one group's fault, and it's the MAGA Republican Party.
Yeah, well, they have the Senate, they have the House, they have the White House, they have all the power. They have the Supreme Court in their court. Yeah.
And I guess it's the Democrats' fault.
Okay.
Sure. The thing is, they have a tremendous push right now blaming the Democrats.
Of course they do.
And the reason they're doing it is they want to identify Democrats as the people who have shut down the government. They're there first. They're defining them first. And the Democrats are doing, I think, a pretty good job of getting out there saying, no, it's not us. But they were a little late to the game because they came up with this thought yesterday. Remember, we were talking about it.
Right.
Well, okay, it's a great idea. Thanks for coming up with it a day before the shutdown. Not even a day before the shutdown, during the shutdown. Anyway, this is it. This is where we're at. It's referrals for a lot of the government workers, layoffs, and the thing that kind of boggles my mind. We're going to keep talking about this all morning long, but the threat from Trump over this shutdown is so stunning to me. How the American public, the voters out there, even the MAGAs, even the CJs, and my MAGA friend in Milwaukee, they have not noticed that he's threatening to fire people permanently.
Yeah.
Is that a positive thing for voters to think about? I mean, he's going to crush the voters. He's going to crush Americans to make his point. Is that really the thing you want people to think about?
Well,
really?
He wants to blame the Democrats for everything, but he's the one that's sending the military into the streets. He wants disruption. He wants chaos. Yeah. He wants it. He wants to make people upset about the government shutdown, so they'll go out in the streets and they'll demonstrate, and then he'll stir things up and blame the Democrats for all that, and then call an emergency. It's like an emergency. We got to send even more troops in. So all the ingredients are there for complete chaos.
I have so many drop-ins. I have so many voicers that I put on. I like to have them say it in their own words. I don't want to sit here and read what they're saying.
Right.
Could we cue up cut 5? We'll be playing this a few times this morning, but this is Trump in his threat that I just mentioned.
Okay.
If anybody said this to you, would you think kindly of them? Would you forgive them? No. Let's listen.
Told you we have $17 trillion being invested, so the last person that wants it shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them.
Oh, okay.
Like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that.
Okay. So there you go.
That's the plan.
Not medically, but surgically is going to make those cuts. We're going to make those cuts medically. All right. My head just can't wrap around most of this. But anyway, that's his threat. Now, if you get a threat like that, do you think, well, gee, I'm glad I voted for him. He's targeting us. He's targeting us with these threats to cut things we need and love and cherish in this country. And it's specific to one party. He's doing this to the Democrats, the things we like.
He had that big meeting yesterday with all the generals, and he's got them backing him up. That didn't go very well, did it?
Isn't that something? Because they can't say anything.
Yeah, they're not going to react at all. They didn't react.
They did not react.
They just sat there.
But
because they're not supposed to be political at all.
There were some very dangerous calls to action from the president. Wow.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
That was, it is a total takedown of this country. If you thought we were in a dictatorship, maybe. Now we are, and you can take my word for it, who called it early on this thing. But this is a dictatorship, and he's just kind of rolling everything out at this point. And in front of the generals, in front of the admirals, they're just sitting in silence. His threat was just wonderful at the beginning.
Yeah.
Thanks for, you don't have to clap. You don't have to clap. No one clapped. And you can walk out if you want, and that's fine. That's fine. You have the ability to do that. But if you do it, it's the end of your career and no pensions.
So there's that.
Well, okay.
Okay. Wow. Hey, let's go to the phones. Matt is on the line. Good morning, Matt. Go ahead.
Morning, guys. I have to be honest. It's me. I'm the head of Antifa. It was all my idea. I tried to get all my top brass together to berate them about their weight and their attire and how they carry themselves. And
their beards.
Protesting for us is serious business, FAFO, guys. Right? So
I know.
But it's like herding cats because a lot of my people have multiple jobs or they're just lazy. I wanted to meet at Starbucks to discuss things, but I don't want to support the man, so we can't buy anything there, right? So, but the main reason to get everybody together was try to figure out, what is the radical left? We can't quite figure that out. Somebody help me on that.
Yeah, I know. It's the one thing we haven't been able to define in our network. We just can't figure that one out.
Right.
Yeah. And our soldiers are too overweight, apparently, coming from the orange clown that is 300 pounds.
That's right. Everybody's going to be working out, and they're going to look like The Rock. Everybody. No beards.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is so cartoonish. I can't imagine the admirals and generals sitting out in the audience thinking, "What are we watching? What are we watching?"
Yeah.
God.
Well, Matt, thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Appreciate
that was great stuff, man.
Phone lines are open, 608-879-8255, and you can always text us on the Civic Media app or send us a voice note.
It's good to know that Matt's in charge.
Yes.
And he's gathering the Antifa troops for us.
That's great. Weather for today. Hey, by the way, it's the first day of October.
Oh, yeah,
there's a
right.
positive thing. 58 degrees currently, highs today into the upper 70s. A lot of cloud cover out there to start things out. A little bit later on, we'll have Mike McCabe join us in our next hour. And, of course, we'll fire up the Go for the Green and Gold Text to Win contest also a little bit after 7 o'clock. So that's the big lineup for today.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's a jammed schedule. I hope we can get everybody in.
Yeah. Dom, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
I'm doing all right.
Did you go line dancing last night again?
I didn't. I think I'm going to retire from it.
Really?
I'm done with it.
Putting
I'm
the
fully
cowboy
done.
boots away and
Yep.
the big hat?
And on top of that, my girlfriend she's going to New York for a week. She's going to be gone for a week.
What's she doing in New York?
She's going to an Ariana Grande concert.
Really?
That's only one day, though. So 5 other days, I don't know.
Okay,
That's an
so let
expensive ticket,
me
I'm
just,
sure.
Let me just put this all together. Okay.
Put this all together.
So you have taken the courage up to defy your girlfriend while she's gone. Why? What a tower of strength! I'm not going to line dance while she's out of town.
I went on strike.
Wow. Well, that's drawing a line in the sand.
It is, yeah. But other than that, I'm having a great day.
Yeah.
So she went to New York for a week for one concert night
Ariana
with
Grande.
Ariana Grande.
Well, that's
What's she going to do the rest of the time?
Expensive ticket right there,
Oh
isn't
my
it?
gosh, yeah, it is. I think it's about $950.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Really?
that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus-
and then a flight out there and
You got
back?
to get a flight out there and flight back, and it's a whole thing.
Staying at
Hotels.
a hotel. Oh, wow.
Oh, really? Is she meeting friends? Is she going there with friends?
She's going there with friends. Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
That's
man.
what friends do now. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't spend money
Do they?
all year long getting together and partying and, taking the night off. Now you talk to them on the internet and then you meet someplace in a different state and get together and have a riot.
that's what I'm saying. A riot.
Well,
Well,
So
I
if
guess
it's not a real
that is
riot,
it's a different
are-
connotation now. Now the ICE or anybody else, the National Guard's going to be looking for them.
yeah.
But
Well, they haven't gone into New York City yet, but that's on the list. Yeah.
oh man, I remember when the shutdowns took place when I was working with the census, and
What was that like? Did you still have work to do, or did they
no
stop
no
the
work?
census?
No, they stop you cold.
Yeah.
Some departments just get stopped. And
Did you get paid?
Yeah, eventually you get back pay on it. Yep.
Yeah.
When everything comes back to normal. But the thing here that really bothers me is this thing where the Democrats are demanding health care for illegal immigrants. Okay.
Well, that's what the Republicans are saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And
But
and,
that's
and,
not
it, and
true.
it is such a huge lie. Huge lie. In fact, why don't we again, we're going to be playing a lot of these
We
cuts
got a minute,
later
right?
on, but we're kind of, we don't have time for this. But anyway, I'm doing this again.
It always happens one show.
Oh, God. But finally somebody kind of nailed it down. Caitlin Collins.
Oh, yeah,
nailed it down.
We've got that comment coming up,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, we do.
Yes. She had a little back and forth with House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Finally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a little late, guys.
Yeah.
Did you notice that it's not against the illegal aliens or immigrant? I hate saying aliens.
Yeah.
Immigrants. It's not. It has nothing to do with it. There are people that are here legally, immigrants,
Yeah.
that do get some benefits.
They're
but,
here legally.
But that is not what they're going for.
Yeah. 19 minutes past the hour. We're just getting started on this Wednesday morning, first day of October. It's John Peterson, Gordy Young, along with Dominic Lee. We're coming right back.
You can ask me what's trending. What's trending? You can ask me what's trending.
Ask me what's trending.
Trending.
What's trending?
And I will tell you.
You can ask me what's trending.
We have an expired session here.
We got logged out. We'll take care of that.
Can't get to our text right away here, but we love to hear from you.
Yep.
Go to the Civic Media app, choose WMDX, text us or voice note us. We'd love to hear from you, or give us a call as well. We're listening, and we want to have that conversation with you.
Yeah. Our phone number is 608-879-8255. We have cloudy skies. Looks like it's going to stay mostly cloudy through most of the day today. Right now, 58 degrees, highs in the upper 70s today.
That's right. And if you wanted to know,
Yeah.
6:55 sunrise.
Okay, yeah.
6:38 sunset.
Okay.
Although I don't know, it could sunset on this country any moment. Actually,
Well, the government's shut down, so will we know?
everything
Will they tell
else,
us anything?
everything else can end very quickly as well.
Okay, wow. Great. Good morning.
So if we're not here, you should at least check with the local police. And
Wow.
I don't know if there's a immigration detention center any place
I don't know.
near here. We should find
Well,
out.
that's probably a secret, if there is.
Well, then we'll do what we can to tell people where it is. But I want to get to this cut. This is, again, the big argument is from the right side of the aisle. The MAGAs are saying that Democrats are demanding health care, money for health care for illegal immigrants, okay, which is a complete lie. And the fact that they feel so free to lie,
Yeah.
every one of them is saying this. They are lying through their teeth, and they have this freedom now to say anything they want because the mega cult believes everything they hear these people say. And they're saying it with authority, so it must be true. But here's Caitlin Collins on CNN. She was grilling Mike Johnson about this supposed demand to pay for illegal immigrants' health care. Let's listen.
We're rolling the greatest hits on our social media.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the point about giving people who are here illegally health care is not exactly what is in their proposal.
It is 100% what their
immigrants
proposal.
who have legal status,
No,
and you're just
Caitlin, you're
disagreeing
wrong.
on who's eligible.
No,
I
I'm
looked
not.
at it, actually, because I was curious about your argument yesterday.
You should study the CBO's analysis that they just put out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw
and
that about the 1.2 million people. You're basically arguing about who has legal status, people who are seeking refuge here or
I'm
seeking
not.
asylum.
No, I'm making sure that we are making sure in our provisions that we signed into law have ensured that health care benefits go only to eligible U.S. citizens.
But
Chuck
as
Schumer's
is federal
proposal.
law.
Federal law was not being enforced. That's the whole point. We had to fine tune that so that we could strengthen the health care program. That's what we did.
No. You had to fine-tune
lie.
it. Oh, God.
lying.
He's just such a liar. This is Mr. Christian. This is how Christians lie. Truthfully, of course. He got caught in this thing. They're here legally, and a few immigrants in this country legally can get health care through the ACA. And it's a very, very, very small percentage. And he said, well, that's the whole thing right there. He didn't have to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have gone along with her. Yeah, it's a small percentage, but we don't want them to get it. He could have said anything, but he didn't. And truly, what, of course, the Democrats are demanding is that the COVID tax credits that were put in place, the additional tax credits, made healthcare premiums very affordable for every American on the marketplace, on the ACA. And those are going away, and insurance companies are abandoning Obamacare. They're going away because they can't afford it, because they know they're not going to get these subsidies to pay for these premiums, so they're not going to make the kind of money that they have been making. And by the way, that's another discussion which shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't be doing this. It shouldn't be driven by profits. But anyway, These guys are abandoning the market. The premiums are going up. They're already warning states that the premiums are going to increase dramatically, 70% for some, 35% for most. This is going to affect everybody, and we're all just, our jaws are going to drop. The Republicans, the megas, are going to be on the wrong side of the aisle on this one. This could really do it for them in the midterm elections. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to see how it all plays out here on the very first day of the shutdown. Who's going to start to rile things up?
How long?
How long will it last?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it could last a long time. I think these people are, they don't care what happens.
Well, the Republicans
they've been
are
shutting
saying
it down anyway. So
Republicans are saying they're not going to negotiate until the Democrats agree to a short-term kick the
continuing
can.
resolution.
Yeah. That's their stance at the moment.
And you know what? I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
If we delay this for maybe a month, at that point, people are going to have to start signing up for the Affordable Care Act. And when they find out what
how
their
much
premiums are going to be,
Lord.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, they should make the deal now because people are going to find out and they're really going to be angry. This is something that the Republicans are pushing hard on. They're not going to allow these tax credits to continue. Now, haven't we been saying it on this program for, I don't know, maybe
almost
for
2
the last
years.
5 or 6 months, that these guys, they're going to find out that people are going to be very angry about not getting those tax credits.
Absolutely, yes. 29 past the hour coming up. We've got the Midwest Food and Farm Report. And when we come back, Idiocracy. It's all happening on this Wednesday. John and Gordy on WMDX.
trade had expected. In their latest report, December corn down 6 cents at $4.15.5. Soybeans also easing lower despite some tighter stocks numbers. November soybeans down 8 3/4 cents at $10.01 3/4. Cash wheat closed 11.5 cents lower at $5.08 a bushel. July 2026 new crop wheat down 9 cents at $5.51 3/4. The 40-pound block cheese continued its higher trend, closing up a nickel and a half at $1.72. When cheese closed, the October Class 3 milk contract was trading up 24 cents at $17.23 a hundredweight. The November Class 3 milk contract trading up 26 cents at $16.89 a hundredweight. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Stephanie Hoff.
You're listening to 92.7 WMDX, Madison's home for the Todd Albaugh Show, weekday afternoons from 2 to 4.
It is going to be another partly cloudy, warm day today. Our high right around 79 this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll drop into the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny, a little breezier with a high in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable.
Where working people come to talk. It's the Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network. Join me for an honest approach to the issues American working families care about. No talking points, no focus groups. Get ready for a heavy dose of democracy, fairness, grit, and no apologies. It's current affairs from a working class labor perspective. Facts are center, science is real, and everyone gets a seat at the table. The Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
You know what I'm a sucker for at a Chinese buffet?
Crab rangoons.
Yep. I'll have about 4 or 5 of those things.
And they have cocktail weenies, which is a nice delicacy at the Chinese buffet.
I'm trying to think of a buffet I went to that had cocktail weenies.
Who's eating that?
I don't know.
Even if you have a gourmet recipe at home, you're not making cocktail weenies. You're certainly not eating them when you go to the Chinese buffet. Yeah. Kind of weird.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Weeknights from 6 till 8 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
As the 21st century began, human evolution was at a turning point, a dumbing down, until humanity was incapable of solving even its most basic problems.
What an idiot!
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
What the f***'s going on around here?
Holy shit!
Idiocracy.
For the smartest guy in the world, you're pretty dumb sometimes.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Really?
There's just so much to this. WMDX 92.7. It's John and Gordy in the morning.
6:35, cloudy today, high around 79, right now 58 degrees. We want to encourage you to join us this Sunday at Warner Park. It's the Walk to End Alzheimer's. We've got a team page. You can go to it by going to our website, WMDXradio.com. Join our team, donate to the team. We're at 47% of our $1,000 goal, so we still have a ways to go, but we've got a few days to get there. So if you'd like to help out, again, go to WMDXradio.com and click on the banner that says the 2025 Walk to End Alzheimer's. Again, it's happening this Sunday at Warner Park. I think they open up the gates there about 8:30. We'll be set up there with our booth, and then we'll walk with the rest of the crowd. It was great last year, really good.
It was.
And we're going to enjoy the time there, and hopefully the weather holds out and will be nice, and we'll get a good turnout.
All right.
Okay. By the way, the Cubs are up 1-0 in their series against the San Diego Padres, the wild card race. John, I know you're very interested in that.
I am. I know. We have peace at home when the Cubs win.
Yes. Yes. Your wife's a big Cubs fan, as am I, and I know you're a big Brewers fan. So
I'm a Brewers fan, but I'm pulling for the Cubs too.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. They've been the underdogs for so many decades.
It's a best out of 3 series, so they're up 1-0 here in the series. Well, let's go. Catherine's on the phone here. Good morning, Catherine.
Okay. I'm very busy.
I'm very busy here.
Busy?
I'm starting to think about waking up. Yeah, I'm going to get up. I'm going to
Okay.
get up.
Yeah, it's time to get
But
up.
I was listening, of course, and I'm glad you mentioned the Alzheimer's walk.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to encourage folks. We are almost halfway to our goal.
Right.
I just made it $1,000. That's all. So if everybody who is listening is going to think about giving to the Alzheimer's Association or any nonprofit this year before the end of the year to get your tax deduction, I recommend the Alzheimer's Association. It affects virtually everyone. I suspect anyone hearing this is saying, yeah, my grandmother, yeah, my parents, my sister, whatever. And it's really easy. On the website, WMDXradio.com, there is a carousel of lovely announcements. It's the second box, the second carousel.
Mm-hmm.
So please consider getting to that and supporting our team. I think there's like a half dozen of us going now.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, at least.
Well, many families are
fun. It's a
touched
beautiful
by
walk.
Alzheimer's, so
Yeah.
it's
My mother-in-law suffered with it for 7 or 8 years. It was horrible.
and our listeners are suffering through it with us.
You and I?
You and I.
Yes.
Walk for John.
Yes,
And Gordy. We're all in this together. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
right.
Excellent.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Catherine. Thank you. Yes.
Hey, we're not going to get to look, we cover a lot of the national politics on this program. It's a local station, I know that, but we cover it because it has a major effect on what's going on in this state. And so we apologize for not getting to the horse race for governor.
Well, how many there's like 38
cares.
candidates in there now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts.
I know. And
Everybody's
it's
running.
It's pretty early in the running as well. And just a little tip, though.
Yeah?
I'm going to plug my old blog, democurmudgeon.blogspot.com.
That's an easy link to remember.
Democurmudgeon.
Can you spell it?
I can't spell it.
Really? DEMO curmudgeon.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
.blogspot.com. Yeah.
.com.
Some people say crumudgeon, and
No,
that's
wrong.
what throws them off. So, anyways, check it out because you can look up Tom Tiffany there.
Okay.
He's a Republican candidate for governor, also a representative in Congress doing nothing at all. And he wants to do that here. So plug it into the search engine at my blog. It's up in the upper left. And put in Tom Tiffany, and you will come up with a history of Tom Tiffany's problems and stupid things that he did in this state. Every one of those links are there. So check it out if you can. If you want to know more about Tom Tiffany, we're going to feature him on the show one of these days. I just haven't had time to do it because of the S show that's going on and the fire hose of lies. And we have to keep up with that. So all right, just a little tip. That's kind of my local slant this morning.
Okay,
that's
very
it.
good.
That's it. Now let's go on to something that Trump said yesterday, which scared the daylights out almost everybody, I think, in front of the admirals and generals sitting in the audience who weren't reacting because they didn't know what the hell to think. All right, so I have two cuts here, Trump and Hegseth together on this, but we're just going to listen to Trump at this point, okay? So let's play cut 4.
They're brave in our inner cities, which we're going to be talking about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. While America is under invasion from within, we're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. The Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape, too, by the way. I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles,
They haven't done anything.
they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military, because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city. It's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control. It won't get out of control. Our history is filled with military heroes who took on all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know that phrase very well. That's what the oath says, foreign and domestic.
You are
Well, we
brilliant.
also have domestic.
Wow.
Should our
So there it
enemies
is. An amazing, jaw-dropping comment.
Marbles are just rolling around in his brain. It's just wow.
So the military is going to use our cities as training grounds.
Yeah. There's an idea.
Yeah.
Sure. That's not
I-
not good.
I really want to know what
Red flags are popping up all over the place.
I want to know what you are thinking. You give us a call, text us, let us know. I think this is probably one of the most profound comments that the president has made ever, or any president has ever made, saying that the military will use our cities as training grounds for their activities, what they can do, what they can't do. But they're, citizens out there aren't wearing the uniform, so
No.
it's kind of hard
It's
to
a little
pick
difficult.
and choose and shoot the people you want to shoot.
Right. Yeah. You think anybody in Trump's cabinet is dusting off the 25th Amendment at this point? I mean, any of them have the guts or the smarts to do that, or they're just kneeling at the throne?
I don't know how these individuals are going to be able to
wrap their arms around them and take Grandpa away.
Take orders.
Yeah.
How are they going to take orders? Because this is a madman at this point. Absolute madman.
That's where we're at.
We'd love to hear from you in regards to using the cities as training grounds for the military.
Yeah. Call us 608-879-8255.
Military
or text us.
testing grounds.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that was just an amazing comment. I think everybody was stunned and jaws were dropping.
That should be the headline today, not the shutdown.
All right.
Speaking of the shutdown, Scott asks, how are the Democrats going to delay the shutdown? The simple thing is, the Republicans need the Democratic votes in order to approve anything at this point. And the Democrats are not going along with voting to continue a continuing resolution or raise the debt limit or anything like that. They don't want to pay for anything until they're working for you.
Yeah.
They want you to get your tax credits for health care.
Right.
They want that. That is the main thing they want.
Yeah.
So the Republicans need the Democratic vote, and that's how the Democrats can keep this thing shut down. But really, if the Republicans had it together, they could move on. They don't need the Democratic votes, but they don't have the votes. And that is the problem.
Yep.
And so it's really a Republican shutdown. It isn't a Democratic shutdown. They don't have the votes, and we're not going to help them.
So essential services are still happening, right? Even though the government shut down officially at midnight.
Right.
Still get your mail
essential
on time.
services, yeah. There are a few
like
things
that.
going on out there. Yep.
All right, let's go to the phones. Mark is on the line. Good morning, Mark. What do you have for us today?
Yeah, but are the essential services, people that are providing for the essential services, going to be paid?
Right.
And Trump wants to call it the army against American citizens. So they're going to be willing and able and happy to be going out and taking military action against fellow citizens and not being paid for it at the same time. It boggles the mind that he is saying this stuff about calling out the military against American citizens. I mean, sorry to sound like a broken record here, but that's right out of the Declaration of Independence and what King George was doing against English people who were English citizens at the time when George III was deploying troops against them because they were not happy about the way the government was being run. And Trump's tariffs are merely taxation without representation, and that just because you call it a tariff, it doesn't mean it's not a tax.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on all those counts.
I know. When I heard that comment, I just couldn't wrap my head around it for a while, especially
stunning. Yeah.
Yeah, especially after going to the movie One Battle After Another, which scared the daylights out of me.
You like that movie?
Yeah. It
Big
was,
thumbs up?
Boy, that was a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
Intense as heck. It's about a group of militants who are out there freeing immigrants from the detention camps.
Oh, really?
And this is their lot in life. This is what they're doing constantly, and it seems like it's going on now. This movie is so current, so it feels so up to date, and it was amazing. The thing that scared me about this was how the military can track us down if they wanted to.
Yeah.
We don't stand a chance against the military in this country, whether it's the police force, whether it's the National Guard, whether it's the actual military. We don't stand a chance. All of us have this incredible trail that they can follow.
They've got all that information.
We don't think about it, but we have an amazing trail, and they can find us in an instant. Our phones, whatever, they can find us. And that is the scariest part of all.
One battle after another.
Us going on the air talking about Trump the way we're talking about. They could come after us at any time.
Do we have the doors locked downstairs?
I'm hoping.
It's One Battle After Another, Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn.
Sean Penn.
Okay.
An amazing character, Colonel Lockjaw.
Wow. I love that name. It's 6:48. We're coming back with more. It's John and Gordy on WMDX. Be right back. Hearing loss is frustrating. If you're not sure what others are saying in conversations because of loud background noise, why not call Madison Hearing Aid Center? 608-249-4077 is their number. They offer fast and flexible appointments. Talk to Jim or Sarah. They're helping people change their lives with better hearing. Get a free hearing test online at MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. That's MadisonHearingAidCenter.com, 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. Tell them John and Gordy sent you.
There's nothing quite like the perfect fit, and at Allure Intimate Apparel, that's exactly what they deliver. Their expert team offers one-on-one bra fittings in a graceful, no-pressure environment that celebrates every silhouette. It's luxury tailored to real life where confidence is never compromised. Experience a new standard of personal attention with timeless style and a fit that flatters at every angle. Visit their brand new location at the Hilldale Shopping Center. Visit allurefits.com.
You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people. September 30th, New Hampshire implemented new hurdles for registering to vote by mail and requesting an absentee ballot. The regulations hit students, elders, and the disabled the hardest, and a pending suit claims many could be disenfranchised. New Hampshire already has some of the strictest absentee voting rules in the country, accepting only a few excuses to vote absentee. The state had over 99,000 absentee voters in 2024. With the added requirements of SB 287 and 218, citizens registering to vote by mail must now submit copies of citizenship documents, age, and residency. The voter registration application must also be signed by a witness before submission. The Brennan Center recently found that 1 in 9 Americans don't have ready access to such documents. Notably, only one non-citizen has ever been convicted for voting illegally in New Hampshire. Then, after the voter registration is accepted, New Hampshire requires an absentee ballot application be submitted for each election, which now must include a copy of the voter's state or federally issued photo identification, even if you've provided those documents previously, or provide a notarized signature. A lawsuit filed August 19th argues such restrictions make it difficult for students, elders, the disabled, and those without access or means to copy the documents to vote. We have more at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
Get ready to go for the green and gold on this local Civic Media radio station. Listen each weekday for the keywords to text for your chance to win our daily prize, $200 cash and gold jewelry, and be entered to win our grand prize, 2 indoor club level seats to see the green and gold take on Minnesota in Green Bay. Just download our free Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, and 7 for your chance to win in our multi-state contest.
They're lined up on the playground, their hands all in the air. See it on our news feed and we cry out in despair. They're counting up the casualties, everyone's choosing sides. There's always someone to blame, never anywhere to hide. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers.
John and Gordy in the morning. This is WMDX 92.7. We'll hold your hand through this.
That's right. We're here for you.
Or please hold our hand.
As long as we're here. Yes.
Yeah.
It is 6:53. It's cloudy to start things out on this first day of October. Highs around 79 today. Right now, 58 degrees. We're about 10 minutes or so away from our next chance for you to win in our Go for the Green and Gold Text to Win multi-state contest.
Let's go to the phones right away.
Yes, let's do that.
We've got Joe on the line.
Good morning, Joe.
Welcome, Joe.
Boy, I don't know if I'm going to be any source of a comfort or solace. I think that what's being talked about in front of the generals and the admirals was kind of, let's rally the troops because here's what you're going to do. There's a great article in a publication called Truth Out from September 29, and with this title that sort of lays it out, National Security Directive declares war on those who don't support the Trump agenda.
Wow.
So what it is this, I didn't realize that there's executive orders which sort of direct the day-to-day governing of our government. But what this is a national security presidential memorandum which directs things in a very, very broad way. So it's giving policy decrees for defense, foreign policy, intelligence, law enforcement, both at national and then down to the local level. And he's got a list here, this NSPM7, which just rolls off the tongue.
And we talked about this yesterday. We ran through the list of anti-Americanism is something that they have to look for. Anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, support for the overthrow of the United States government, which is happening, by the way, in front of us. Extremism on migration, extremism on race, extremism on gender, hostility toward those who hold traditional American views on family, hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on religion, and hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on morality.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I missed the discussion yesterday. I'll go back and listen, but I think you could really benefit the audience by bringing this up every single day.
No, we are. We are going to bring it up because these two things are piggybacked. You know, they're going to use the military in our cities as practice.
Right.
And they're looking for all of these very simple beliefs. You know, I mean, it's what we believe. It's our freedom. It's the First Amendment, and they're going after everything in the First Amendment. Everything.
Yeah, and it's right to say that I think it's right to say that they are paired. They're being told what to do, and this is what the president wants them to do. Yeah. It's really, we are at the Minority Report level where it's pre-crime. It's our thoughts can get us in trouble with the administration. So thanks, you guys. This is really important.
Oh boy!
Stuff.
All right, Joe. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, putting it in
perspective.
perspective.
Can you play 231 again?
Yeah,
it's just a little minority cut clip that I put together. Let's listen to this here.
I'm sure you all understand the legalistic drawback to pre-crime methodology.
Here we go again.
But let's not kid ourselves. We are arresting individuals who have broken no law.
But they will.
You ever get any false positives? Someone intends to kill his boss or his wife, but they never go through with it. How do the precogs tell the difference?
Precogs have to see what you intend to do. Only what you will do.
That's right. So, we must have an administration filled with precogs. These are cognitive geniuses that can sense this kind of stuff. They have 3 of them in the movie, so but we don't have them in the administrations, unfortunately. Anyway, this is really just
bouncing back to the movie, one battle after another.
Yes.
Have a happy ending? Does it all come out okay in the end? Or you want to? You don't want to give it away?
I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
But it does have a happy ending. All right, there we go. You didn't hear that from me. You didn't hear it from me. I mean, it is so.
I like movies with happy endings.
But it feels like it was made yesterday. This movie. It was just an incredible performances and truly inspiring things that they did. Some of the things they shouldn't have done. Which brought many of these individuals down in the movie. It is not super violent or anything, but it is it's like Civil War. Now,
that movie, yeah.
Remember when we saw Civil War?
Yes.
It was about a radical president taking over the country, creating war in different regions of the country, right?
Yeah.
And we thought, well, this is a fantasy.
Yeah, this will never happen.
Well, I guess it did.
Apparently, they played that at the White House in the movie screening room.
And they said, hey,
let's take
idea.
a few notes on this one. This is good ideas.
Yeah, all right. I don't know.
Well, and we have the government shutdown day 1. Yeah.
Do you have the rest of that Hegseth comment?
Do we have time? Okay.
Yeah, let's play it. Here we go.
Be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O. A few months ago, I was at the White House when President Trump announced his Liberation Day for America's trade policy. It was a landmark day. Well, today is another Liberation Day. The liberation of America's warriors, in name, in deed, and in authorities. You kill people and break things for a living.
Wow, okay.
You are not politically correct and don't necessarily belong always in polite society.
Hell of a 1-2 punch from this administration.
Is that Chris Hayes?
Yeah, that's Chris Hayes. And if you had any curiosity about what the military does, that's what they do. They kill.
Yeah.
They're trained to kill. And if they're going into our cities as testing grounds, military testing grounds, and practice, well, that's what we're looking at.
Okay.
And here we are with our wonderful message of the morning.
And we will continue.
It'll be another day.
Yes. All right. We've got news, weather, updates straight ahead. And when we come back, we'll reveal the keyword in our Go for the Green and Gold Text to Win contest. It's all coming up. And Mike McCabe will join us in our 7 o'clock hour, too. It's John and Gordy in the morning.
October 6th. And in 1 week, that critical WIC program, which gives nutrition assistance to 7 million low-income women and their children, is set to run out of funding.
President Trump's immigration crackdown and some public health work at the FDA and the Department of Agriculture will continue during the shutdown. Rescuers are using backhoes and sniffer dogs to try to find more survivors in the central Philippines following an earthquake that has left at least 69 people dead. President Trump proposing using American cities as training grounds for U.S. troops. That part of the new Trump administration culture for the military laid out before hundreds of generals this week. This is ABC News.
92.7 WMDX, Madison's real news and great conversation, and home to the Todd Allball Show, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. A man was arrested for allegedly threatening to blow up the state capitol last week. Madison police say they got a call with the threat the night of September 22nd. They say it came from the area of University and Breeze Terrace. When they got there, they say the man continued to say the same thing, that he wanted to blow up the capitol, so they arrested him for making terrorist threats. Of course, this comes as political violence is on the rise after the shooting of 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses. The alleged shooter's manifesto named 11 Wisconsin political figures on a supposed hit list. Plus, the killing of Charlie Kirk last month in Utah has more people on edge. Earlier this summer, Speaker Robin Vos requested increased security at the Capitol after the assassinations in Minnesota. And after Kirk's killing, he said he was open to other security measures as well. Meanwhile, 2 schools in McFarland were put on a hold yesterday. It happened at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Police say there was a domestic disturbance and the suspect ran. Authorities say they spotted his car near Indian Mound Middle School and McFarland High School. So those schools were put on a secure hold, which is where class continues as normal, but no one is allowed in or out of the building. Authorities say they arrested the suspect and the hold was lifted about 15 minutes later. And the local priest accused of attempted child sex crimes has pleaded not guilty. Father Andrew Showers is charged in Waupaca County. WISC reports police say he drove to meet with a 14-year-old named Abby he met online, but Abby was actually an undercover officer. He entered a not guilty plea to 3 charges yesterday. The Madison Diocese says they got 1 complaint against him and brought it to Lodi Police, who said it didn't rise to the level of a crime. Meanwhile, a woman says she filed a police report last year after Showers assaulted her in Chicago. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson, 92.7 WMDX News.
After further review, hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Packers coaching staff reviewing the tape of Sunday night's game in Dallas, in which Green Bay kicked a field goal with 1 second left, ending in a tie. Matt LaFleur admits that was poor clock management.
Just looking at the clock, I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be no time left. It's a very humbling experience to go through that. It's unacceptable, quite honestly. And there's nothing we can do about it now other than we better learn from it, everybody.
The Packers have the week off before hosting the Bengals Sunday, October 12th. NBA, Bobby Portis says, after meeting with Bucks GM John Horst and Coach Doc Rivers, he decided to stay in Milwaukee.
Being able to have that open dialogue, open communication with John, open communication with Doc, it's been a great experience for me being here in Milwaukee. Definitely would have been weird going to another franchise, and so I'm happy I'm here.
That's Bucks forward Bobby Portis with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
You're listening to 92.7 WMDX, Madison's home for the Maggie Dawn Show, Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 p.m.
It is going to be another partly cloudy, warm day today. Our high right around 79 this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll drop into the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny, a little breezier with a high in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable.
No fear here, just monster savings at Verlo Mattress of Madison. This October, the only thing creeping near your bed is a deal too good to miss. We custom make every mattress so you know exactly what's inside. No tricks, just treats. Save hundreds on mattresses, foundations, headboards, sheets, and more. Monster savings at Verlo Mattress of Madison. Upgrade your bedroom and unleash the sleep of your dreams. American-made, locally crafted, Verlo. Hurry in before these monster savings vanish. Verlo Mattress of Madison.
The Todd Albaugh Show.
The incomparable Jane Matnair. You're a coffee drinker.
I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning for most of my career. Yeah. You need coffee or a slap across the face or something. How much coffee do you drink a day? How many cups of coffee?
Not as much as you might think. Maybe 2 16-ounce cups, more or less. Maybe not quite that much some days.
Zahmer, is that true?
I mean, from what I can verify, I don't know what he drinks in the privacy of his own home.
No one knows.
The Todd Albaugh Show. Weekdays 2 to 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Maggie Dawn.
Ever hear conservatives explain away Charlie Kirk's racism by saying, oh, he was taken out of context? I debunk that baloney in full.
John and Gordy on the radio. 92.7 is the place to go. place to go.
You know, speaking of coffee, I'm having mushroom coffee this morning.
Oh,
for the first time.
no kidding. You bought the mushroom coffee?
The Rise. Have you seen ads for Rise?
I have seen that,
R-Y-Z-E?
and I'm thinking, how the hell could you drink mushrooms?
What's the benefit
what
of
is
drinking that?
You know,
Is
give
it
you a
any
sip.
good?
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty good.
Oh,
It's
let me
got
try.
a different taste to it, but it's pretty good. I got the dark roast. Yeah.
Does it taste like coffee?
It does.
Oh.
But it's got a different, it does have a different taste to it,
Yeah.
but it still tastes like coffee. Yeah, I
So
kind of like it.
Let me get this straight. There's mushrooms in your coffee?
No, it's made out of mushrooms. It's ground into a powder.
Okay.
And you just add the hot water, and you're ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good. I'm liking it.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
It seems such a wild idea. And yet it's working.
It's working for me so far. Till I keel over, and we'll see what happens.
We'll get to some text in just a moment, but first, we have the big.
Guess what? Hit the music there, Dom. It's time for our Go for the Green and Gold Text to Win multi-state contest. Your daily chance to win a piece of gold jewelry. It's beautiful. It's shiny. It's gold. And $200 cash. Plus each and every single entry that you put in goes into the grand prize drawing for a pair of indoor club-level tickets to Green Bay versus Minnesota in November. So here's how this works. You download the Civic Media app. If you haven't already got it, you just download it. It's free to download, free to use. And in that app, you'll find the WMDX section. Find our station. Use the text button to send this keyword in before 8 a.m. The keyword this hour is cheer, okay? C-H-E-E-R, cheer. That's the key word. Get that into us, and you'll have that chance to win. We will notify you if you're the winner. And when you enter, you'll get a text back. That text response, you can click on that and have more chances to win by subscribing to the newsletter or a podcast, or check out our new newsletter, the Civic Media Today. So, again, the keyword is cheer. There'll be other keywords. 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. Good luck to you. Go to civicmedia.us/contest for complete contest rules. John
All right.
Peterson, over to you.
Okay, we were talking earlier, and we're going to talk more about this. Trump has said that he wants the military to go into our cities. Can we play that cut against? Play it a lot.
Okay.
Told you we have $17 trillion being invested. So the last person that wants it shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse.
All right.
And, we're cutting that.
Now, here's the thing. Just stop it right there. His whole thing about cutting everything away from the left that they like is not a great campaign slogan in any way, shape, or form. When you hear him say that it'll take it out on you, the voter, personally, that is something that I've never heard a politician go out and say before.
Right.
But he seems to be getting away with it. Maybe we'll see what happens. But I want to go through a few texts here. We got a whole bunch of them. Scott Madison said, "I'm not stunned at all. Republicans are going to love burning down major cities. They're going to love this. They think it's awesome." And then we have John out in Edgerton saying, "Maybe our leader can lead the way in fitness, and maybe we can find troops who won't drink like their boss did." That would make me feel safe. Steve out in Mount Horeb, as a veteran, I see that Trump will use the military to take over these cities. He will use the military against civilians that don't agree with him. Watch later, at the end of his term, he will try to stay in office. All wise comments. Thank you very much.
You can text us. You can call us, 608-879-8255. Lines are open right now.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I know. It's
Can
stunning,
we,
isn't it?
Can we continue that?
Yes.
That was the only that was it. That was the only cut.
Okay, that was cut 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Edison, is that the only cut? I thought that was we had Hegseth on there.
We actually do. Never mind. I completely lied to you.
Okay. Okay, no, keep playing it. Yeah.
All right.
They're brave in our inner cities, which we're going to be talking about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. While America is under invasion from within, we're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy.
Quite different.
But more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. The Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape, too, by the way. I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military, because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city. It's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control. It won't get out of control. Our history is filled with military heroes who took on all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know that phrase? Very well. That's what the oath says, foreign and domestic. Well, we also have domestic.
You know,
you were talking to the generals on all this.
Admirals and generals in the audience are thinking, oh, my God, right?
They're sitting there in stunned silence.
Yeah.
They can't believe it.
So what do you think?
I mean, it seems like all the ingredients are there for a military coup.
Yes.
What did the generals talk about after this meeting?
Military takeover. They're thinking maybe they better at least start planning something like that. Yeah, I was going to say that you would think talk like that would put in place perhaps an impeachment.
Yes, you would think.
He's talking about going into our cities and killing people with the military.
Right.
As a training ground on American citizens.
I think that would fall into the abuse of power in the Constitution and the impeachment section.
That comes really, I think that obviously steps over the line of treason.
Yeah, that's so. Yes. All kinds of red flags popping up.
Why couldn't we get him impeached over this? This seems like an obvious, definite impeachment reason. I don't know.
Well, the Republicans in Congress are just, they're just marching to the goosed up. That he's
there's closer
the drumbeat of what
in the
he's doing.
Senate. They're the ones who have to approve the impeachment after all. But
they're not going to do it.
Wow.
They're just.
Well, I don't know.
Part of the show.
And then, of course, we're piggybacking that with the NSPM 7, which is a national security directive identifying anti-Christian, anti-American, whatever that is, views as an indicator of radical left violence. They could do that to us. They could come into these studios and take us away for just this purpose. Just this purpose.
What's that called again? NSPM.
NSPM, and that is that stands for National Security Presidential Memorandum 7. So there were 6 others before that. I have a feeling we missed something.
We're up to number 7 already. I'm just barely catching up. Okay.
I can imagine being considered an extremist on gender.
Oh boy.
Or extremist on race. All of these descriptions, the things they're looking for, preemption. They're going to preempt you from committing any one of these acts. That's the scariest part of all. But these are all things they're doing. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're necessarily Christians, because a Christian would never do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
None of this.
Yeah.
But it's a white nationalist Christian movement that has taken over the administration. So,
wow,
that's one of the things.
It's chilling.
Yeah, it's a bit. Let's see if we got another one here.
Coming up, by the way, in about 20 minutes, Mike McCabe will be joining us,
Yes.
Substack author and blogger. He'll put it all into perspective for us.
Yes, he will. He'll put a good, positive
spin on this somehow. Try to
you give us all hope.
Again, hold our hand
Remember
as
the
we go through
turnings?
all this. What? Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Wow.
Too. Okay. Phones are open at the moment if you want to jump in on the conversation, 608-879-8255. Okay.
It says here, Cody mentions that in the morning news, they showed a picture in the Oval Office from yesterday with Hakeem Jeffries and with two others of the two Trump 2028 hats on the desk.
Oh.
No other president would have done that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, of course, Mark wrote, Vogt loves to do this stuff. He's the guy in charge of financing everything in government. He can make cuts anywhere he wants. No one has to know about it, and that's what he's doing now. And he also was one of the authors of Project 2025.
Yes.
And he says, I hope the next meal vote has been prepared with food that have sat overnight under a heat lamp, and the waitstaff spits in it, like Penny always threatened Sheldon
on the Big
in
Bang Theory.
Yeah,
she would do that, but she never did. Yeah.
Oh man. See, you wake up and all of this is happening. We've got the government shutdown, and the Republicans need a couple of votes from the Democrats in order to push forward with their agenda. And the Democrats wisely are not doing that until they get some concessions, at least the tax credits for the Affordable Care Act that we'll be signing up again for. They're requiring everybody to sign up for their health care coverage. It's not where you're happy with what you have and you don't have to do anything, and next year it just re-signs you up automatically. They're not letting you automatically keep your health care and just go into the next year. They're making you physically go through the motions on this.
Yes.
This is the most incredible.
Making it more difficult.
Why are they making life so much more difficult for all of us? Yeah. I mean, it's difficult enough dealing with what we have to deal with in our lives, but
we got a text here from Kurt.
Yeah, I'm just checking
Madison.
that out here.
There was not one general in the audience that I think he meant to say had the courage to stand up and say to the president, "You are effing nuts," and walk out.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, he did threaten them right away.
Yeah,
and
right
I
off
wish
the
I
top.
had. I wish I had that cut, but he did threaten them and say that if it's okay if you don't applaud, you don't stand, that's fine. You don't react. And you can even walk out if you want. You have the freedom to do that, but you're going to lose your pension and you're going to be fired.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that's nice.
Yes, 7:19.
That's freedom.
It's John and Gordy in the morning. We're coming right back on WMDX.
Neck right, feeling pretty sight. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world.
Talk with the good folks at Madison Hearing Aid Center. They're at 4706 Cottage Grove Road. Call them and make an appointment at 608-249-4077. You can take an initial hearing test online at MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. Don't let your hearing loss frustrate you anymore. They help John and Gordy hear better, and they can help you too. Madison Hearing Aid Center.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-549-8866. 800-549-8866. 800-549-8866.
This is Jim Santel, the host of Amicus, a law review on the broadcast stations of Civic Media. Every step you take at the Dane County Walk to End Alzheimer's brings hope to families affected by dementia. Join WMDX on October 5th at Warner Park as we walk to raise funds for care, support, and research. Free registration at alz.org/walk.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn.
Told you we have $17 trillion being invested. So the last person that wants to shut down is us. Now, with that being said, we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Little pause of thought there.
Everybody take a deep breath.
WMDX 92.7, John and Gordy in the morning, keeping you updated, I hope. Who knows what's happened in the last 3 minutes that we aren't aware of.
23 minutes past the hour. Highs today close to 80. Right now, 59 degrees. Our green, go for the green and gold text to win contest. We're in a contest hour here for the keyword. That keyword, just reminding you again, is cheer. CHEER. It's a multi-state contest. You could win a piece of gold jewelry and $200 cash, and every entry gets you into the grand prize drawing for the club-level tickets to Green Bay versus Minnesota in November.
Interesting comment from Gary.
Yeah.
I like the electrical zap sound in the Trump speech to the military.
60-cycle hum. Yeah.
Isn't it the same sound in the movie Young Frankenstein? I'm believing I think it is, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of good comments, by the way. Thank you very much for all of them. Let's play Jessica Tarloff. She had a great comment on Fox the other day. This is a fairly good cut here. She lays it out, everything in this particular cut. Not a lot of interruptions, so let's check it out.
The conversation that Fetterman was having with Maria and something that he posted on Twitter, which the Deputy White House Press Secretary did as well, was this chart that Axios published about this rise in left-wing violence. And the right was gleefully tweeting it, ignoring the fact that the right-wing violence was much larger than the left-wing violence, which is the truth about it. And you can go anywhere you want for these statistics. You can go to Cato. You can go to the Government Accountability Office. You can go to the Center for, Strategic and International Studies to see that. And in the wake of the absolutely tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk, the right, led by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, wants to make it out as if the left are the only ones who have ever used the word fascist. And you can see a compilation of Stephen Miller saying it. It's passing all over Twitter. You have Donald Trump on tape. You have analyses of how many times that he's referred to Democrats and journalists as evil just in the first 6 months of his administration. And, I think that we should have led this conversation with the tragedies of this weekend. We had more mass shootings, which is just the daily occurrence in American life. And Kash Patel, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump, Caroline Levin as well, out there with a very different narrative than I would think that they would have, but because it doesn't add up for them. The guy who drove up to the Mormon church, set the place on fire, killed 5 people, shooting them, was a Trump supporter.
That's right.
He had a Trump Vance flag in his backyard, which some on the right are trying to say that it said stop Trump, doesn't make any sense.
All right, that stop is there. Plus, his pickup truck had 2 flags on it in the back.
Okay.
One was the American flag, and I couldn't read the other one, okay? Don't know what that is. But, yes, Axios did release a chart showing that left-wing violence was up this year for the last 6 months, 7 months. But it also showed the long-running trend of right-wing violence far outpacing all types of other violence, by the way. And she received mockery over her tweet on this because it was so silly. I mean, this little bar in the last 6 months, that's the problem, not these huge bars showing right-wing attacks. And let's go to CJ. I'm really kind of curious because I want to know what CJ thinks about these unusual comments from Trump using the military. CJ, what's your thought on this?
CJ, go ahead.
Well, I am here. Thank you for taking my call.
What do you think
I
about
did want to speak about some of the stuff you did talk about, but the government shutdown.
Sure.
But, the military, the use of the military in cities.
Yeah.
Maybe if the Democrats wouldn't chant on defunding the police. Did you see who is going to be the Democrat nominee for mayor in New York?
Yeah,
Mom Donnie. Socialist.
Yeah, Mom Donnie. Yes.
Defund the police.
This cliche defund the police doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, okay? I mean, you guys can repeat it over and over. It doesn't exist. What they're trying to do is reform.
Mandela Barnes.
They're reforming law enforcement. That's what they're doing. Okay, now please, could you answer?
Yeah, they sure are.
I just want to know what
working for them in their cities.
This is the one moment
we
where
have to send our National Guard to protect people. How many died in Chicago last week, guys?
Yeah. Well, what about? Okay, now it's whataboutism, but you heard about National Security Directive. NSPM 7, where these are the characteristics they're going to be looking for to preempt terrorism from the left.
Only got a minute here.
Did you hear our little list here? Extremism on gender, extremism.
You guys,
what do you think about that?
Do you remember the Summer of Love?
Yes.
How many riots they had? 725.
But this doesn't impress you.
Don't remember that.
This is immediate. This is happening now.
Republicans there? I don't think so.
Does this not scare the daylights out of you using cities for the military training grounds?
He loves pulling your guys' chain.
He's
you don't
pulling
think he
our
wants
chain
to do
on
that? Okay.
Okay.
All right. It is 29 past the hour. When we return, Mike McCabe will join us, Substack author and blogger on John and Gordy, WMDX.
Welcome to the age of stupid. Stupid. Welcome to the age of stupid.
Yeah. It's our job to try to understand all of this.
Yeah.
WMDX.
Hold your hand. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Hold my hand. This is John and Gordy in the morning. It's an amazing day today. October 1st, of course. The government shutdown is another thing. And then, of course, yesterday, Trump said he wants to use the cities for military training grounds. Mm-hmm. All right, so just a few things to talk to Mike McCabe about from Substack.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. I thought that intro music might have been a reference to me being on the show now.
No.
Now I feel bad.
No.
It's a condition of this country at this point.
Yeah.
Who's running it anyway?
Yeah.
And by the way, before we get into everything, we want to mention that you're going to be appearing next Tuesday at
the Minocqua Brewing.
Brewing, yeah, with Kurt Bangstead.
Yeah, they got a Madison tap room on East Washington Avenue.
Right, we've been there, yeah.
Yeah, next Tuesday at 7. They do something called Ales with Authors.
Okay.
So I guess we're going to tip a few ales.
Not
and
bad.
They're going to have me come and discuss my book and do a Q&A and
Are you going to
sign copies for people.
You're going to be in the beer garden?
I have no idea.
It might
I'm going to show up at the tap room, and wherever they put me is where I'm going to be.
Might be good weather for it.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
So maybe outside, maybe inside. But
what time is that?
7 o'clock next Tuesday.
Excellent.
Okay. All right.
All right. Yeah. My attention span is very short at this point.
There's so much to talk about.
Next Tuesday.
7 o'clock. There you go. Okay.
All right. But where do we begin? Well, the government shut down. That's happened. We don't know how long that's going to last this time. But,
it kind of feels like it's going to be a long time, don't you think?
Yeah, they're kind of digging in their heels pretty deeply at the moment.
And
anyway.
they should, because this is all about the tax credits for the Affordable Care Act. Without that, people are going to lose their health care for sure.
Yeah.
And plus, it'll destroy the economy if those people who can't afford it will continue to pay for it. They're going to be paying $300 to $400 more a month, which is going to be that extra spending money. They could have bought something else or gone out to dinner and supported their local communities.
You know, I once had a past experience with the government shutdown.
Oh, really? Well,
back in the day when Bill Clinton was president, and Newt Gingrich and Bob Dole were the leaders of the House and Senate.
Dole.
You had split government, and they came to impasse, and the government was shut down, and my family just happened to be visiting the Grand Canyon. At that time, and they closed the Grand Canyon, and you couldn't get in, and we had planned this entire trip, and we had gone out there, and we get to the entrance, and it's closed. So we start talking to some of the locals, and they said, "Well, you can actually hike around to the back of the canyon. You can go back to the Havasupai Indian Reservation, and it's a long hike, but but the views are spectacular if you get there." And so we decided to do it because what else are we going to do? The government shut down. And we did the hike and actually got to the reservation, and they put us up, and they were feeding us, and they treated us, like family, like guests, and then we went into the canyon the back way, went past the spectacular waterfall, which we wouldn't have seen otherwise, and then got these gorgeous views of the canyon.
Wow!
Was that North Rim or South Rim?
Well,
I was at the North Rim many years ago. And it was unbelievable.
And so whatever the main entrance is, whether that's north or south, it's been so many years too. I mean, this is the Clinton administration we're talking here. We had to go to the opposite side of the canyon, and where there wasn't, it was actually the Indian reservation vantage point rather than part of the national park.
So tourists can't see that waterfall that you were able to see.
Not unless you go to the Indian reservation. But man, they gave us lodging. They were feeding us fry cakes and and it was
good times.
Yeah, but there, and people were chanting, Newt and Dole open the hole. CNN interviewed us and about how frustrated we were with the shutdown, and so that's my government shutdown story from years ago.
Well, everybody's kind of wondering what's going to happen next now. I think people can support this because the Democrats are attempting to save people's health care, at least in one small way or other. They can't do anything about Medicaid at this point. That was passed in the big bad bill. But at least we can work for getting people on the ACA a chance to keep their health care for their families, including my own. My family is on that. I'm not, but they are on it. So working hard to keep that going. We'll see what happens. Isn't it amazing to hear Trump, of course, threaten to go after the left's programs and benefits and threaten us? It doesn't sound like a guy who's going to actually run for re-election. He doesn't have to. He can make these edicts. He can go out there and say anything he wants and destroy people's lives and threaten to destroy their lives and still think he's going to be president again.
Yeah, but it's an empty threat because he's doing that dismantling anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
He's aiming to do that destruction regardless. And so, I think this time, if the Democrats have sense, they'll stand firm and they'll call his bluff because he's been systematically seeking to dismantle agencies anyway.
Yeah.
And but this is a fight worth fighting. And if Republicans want to, they hold the majority. Let them twist in the wind, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think about his speech before the generals and the admirals?
Yeah.
Did you watch any?
Well,
of
that was freaking madness.
Okay.
Yes.
Him and Hegseth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just jaw dropping, and I can only imagine what all those military commanders are thinking today.
That's right. We were thinking that they were, maybe planning for an eventual coup. If it comes down to that,
passing notes to each other.
Yeah.
It was utter madness, and to people. One of the things you hear all the time is people can't stay silent. They got to speak up. And hey, I'll be the first one to second that motion. But I have to say, those generals, those military commanders sent one hell of a message by remaining completely 100% silent.
Yeah.
Right.
And it clearly unnerved Trump.
Yeah.
They're
telling them that if they leave, they lose everything.
Their
job
they
and their
remained
pensions.
entirely silent and sent one hell of a powerful message.
Yeah.
Well, they know that the military is supposed to be not political.
Yep. Though they behaved according to military practice
Yes.
and custom.
Yes.
They did exactly what military officers have been trained to do. But doing that in today's environment sent a very clear and powerful message.
Yeah.
Again, we think they're planning a coup. We're keeping our fingers crossed. They're planning a coup. Now, did you hear our story about the NSPM 7, the National Security Directive, called the National Security Presidential Memorandum? And they're going to try to preempt the left from committing crimes, violence against the public. And they're looking for certain characteristics, indicators like anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, support for the overthrow of the U.S. government, which we're watching, the extremism of migration, extremism on race, gender, hostility toward those who hold traditional American views of the family. I mean, how did they know this? How would they know? And why would they know this? And then can they really come after us if I talk to the neighbor and said, I don't agree with your lifestyle, Well, they could report me and have Trump come out and take me away.
Well, here's what's
which maybe some people would like.
Here's what's so difficult about all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that it's hard to know what the administration throws out there on a daily basis is actually actionable, or whether they even plan to try to do any of these things, or what is simply distraction. It's simply theater to keep everybody's eyes forever moving to the next shiny object. And they are masters at this. And I think at least 90% of what comes out of the administration on a daily basis, and maybe it's closer to 95 or 99%, is simply distraction. It's not something that they will do. It is simply something that they use to prevent people from focusing on the things that they really are doing, or in the case of the Epstein files, something that they absolutely do not want to do,
right?
Namely releasing those files. And to keep people from focusing on those things, what they are doing to our economy, what they are doing to our democracy, what they're not wanting to do when it comes to transparency in government, they keep throwing this stuff out daily. And I think that the convening of all those military commanders,
right?
Maybe there's something actionable there, but man, when you listened to Trump's speech and listened to Hegseth's speech, he really took all those military commanders from all those posts all around the world and convened them to listen to that.
Yes, I know.
There was nothing. It was just a rant, both by the president and by Hegseth. It was just two rants but that got everybody's attention and had them, and they'll have them talking for the next 24 hours or 48 hours, and then they'll move on to the next distraction and the next one and the next one and the next one. They're playing us. They know what they're doing. They know how to keep the camera focused on them and keep us forever darting from one shiny object to the next, to the next, to the next.
But they have followed through on a lot of what they've talked about.
They followed through on some of it. And that's what I say. That's what's so difficult, to know which of the things they talk
really
about
mean.
are actionable, are the things that they really intend to do, and which of them are simply distraction. And I think it's got to be at least 90% distraction, at least. And then... But it's hard to know which is which, admittedly.
Yeah.
So which do you pay attention to and which do you not pay attention to? That's hard. And for journalists, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So I think all that journalists can do is report what the administration is saying and doing that day, and they feel a duty for that, to do that. But the people, Trump and all of his minions, know that. They know that there's that duty. And they take advantage of it by throwing so much of the stuff that they throw out there is just purely distraction.
We're talking with Mike McCabe, Substack author and blogger. And Mike, all right, here's one of the things they are doing. They're putting military on the streets, and they're continuing to do that. And they're saying they're going to do that. And now they're in Chicago and trying to. I mean, it seems like Trump is feeding on this to create unrest and chaos and disruption, and like you say, take everybody's minds off the Epstein file. It's a combination.
Again, even those actions, even deploying some forces.
Yeah.
How much of that is just for show, and how much of that is just distraction to keep people from focusing on the rampant theft, the corruption that the first family is engaged in, just personally profiting from their service in office, and then to conceal things like the Epstein files.
Yeah. It is 7:48. We will continue our conversation with Mike McCabe. You can join us, 608-879-8255. Coming right back on WMDX.
His heart is broken in half, well, the joke's on me. I'm off to join the circus. Oh, Mr. Barnum, save a place for me. Shoot me out of a cannon, I don't care. Goodbye, cruel world. Goodbye, cruel world.
Lord, I'm so tired. How long can this go on?
Wondering myself.
That I working in a coal mine, going down.
WMDX, John and Gordy in the morning.
7:52. Just a few more minutes in this contest hour. At 8 a.m., we'll close this hour's contest, but there'll be other chance to win in our Go for the Green and Gold Text to Win contest at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. Keyword is cheer, C-H-E-E-R. You still have a few more minutes to get in before 8 o'clock, and that gets you in for a chance to win a piece of gold jewelry and $200 cash, plus every entry gets you into the grand prize drawing for a pair of club-level tickets to Green Bay versus Minnesota in November. Good luck to you. You can get complete rules at civicmedia.us/contest. Every entry, you get a text back. And if you click on that, well, you get a chance to get more entries in. So check it out. Okay.
All right, a special guest, Mike McCabe, in the studio from Substack. He's got a great article about George Lakoff.
Yes.
But first, why don't we go to the phone lines? We've got Charles. Oh, is Charles up there yet? Okay, let's go to Charles.
Good morning, Charles.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just the sheer ignorance of people. I try to follow politics, and I'm asking you guys, maybe you guys know, I don't know. Has there been a police department that's been defunded by the Democratic Party?
Not that I know of.
Good question.
Yeah. Defunding the police. Yeah, I know.
We always get people that call in and they want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And then my other one is, reminded me of when I was in education and you call on a kid to read or do a math problem that couldn't. So instead of answering the question, they deflect, they maybe throw a book or try to act out so they get sent out to the principal's office. You ask a simple question, and instead of getting a question, you get this like silly laughter because they're not able to answer the question. I don't want to call anybody's names. I don't want them thinking I'm picking on them. But instead of answering the question, there's a laughter there. Like I said, that kid in the classroom that you're calling them to read out loud, and instead of being embarrassed, I'm gonna throw a book so I can get sent out to the principal's office.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All
right, Charles. Appreciate it.
Good point.
And just a little addition to it, the Republicans are the ones defunding the police department. They refuse to fund the police department in Milwaukee. They've been keeping money away from them. So, and I wanted to ask you, Mike, about this specific thing. We asked CJ, he's a MAGA, and we asked him about these policies, about what Trump said about the military practicing in U.S. cities, and deflected to other things. And it's unsettling to me because you'd think that there would be a line that, somebody can step over that will suddenly change another person's mind, and I can't understand why, what they said, what they're doing right now isn't changing a few of the people's minds, or at least making them more concerned about the situation, right?
Yeah, what Charles described about the childhood behavior in the classroom.
Yeah.
The so-called grown-ups never really get past that, do they? They just, they engage in that same kind of behavior in their own way. And you see that among citizens, voters. You see that among those people in power.
Yeah.
When they don't want to answer a question, they're really inventive and creative about deflecting.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, let's go to the book from George Lakoff. This is something that's been out there a long time. He's a great person to talk to about phraseology, how to frame an issue, and the name of the book is Don't Think of an Elephant. This is a perfect situation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, basically the title of the book is based on, it kind of summarizes a mental exercise that Lakoff asks readers or challenges readers to perform. He says, don't think of an elephant, and of course, immediately an image of an elephant comes to mind.
Right.
And that's our subconscious at work. So Lakoff's work was all about how subconscious influences affect the way we process information. And so, if I say, don't think of Trump, Don't you dare think or talk about Trump. What comes to mind is that image of the hair and that blob of a body and all of that. That's what comes to mind.
Exactly.
And it's stuck in our minds. And so you have to consciously think about how the subconscious is affecting how we are taking in and processing information.
Beware of the blob. Get that song ready.
And we got and we've got to consciously think and talk about what we care about, what we want, what we dream about, what we care about, what our strengths and weaknesses are, what our hopes and dreams are. We have to consciously will ourselves to focus on that kind of stuff, because there are some very, very manipulative people who are very, very good at using our subconsciouses against us and keeping us forever fixated, forever obsessing over something, instead of thinking about what we hope and dream for. And that's what Lakoff's book is all about. And if people want to revisit that old volume, Don't Think of an Elephant, there's just so much wisdom in it.
Yeah, there's no line for the followers of their orange Jesus, is one comment we got from Mount Horeb.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap things up here, Mike, but we want to remind everybody they can meet you at Minocqua Brewing Company next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
7 o'clock. That's on East Washington. You're going to be there. It's called Ales with Authors. Do you know some of the other authors that'll be?
Oh, I'm the author.
Oh, you are the author. Okay.
They've been doing it. They've been doing this weekly, and so they'll have an author in there. I think they recently started this. So I'm one of the initial authors that they're choosing to bring in and showcase.
And people can bring in your excellent book, Miracles Along County
and there
Q.
will be copies to sell there, and I'll be signing copies after we talk.
That's very good.
Yeah.
All right. That's Tuesday, 7 o'clock at Minocqua Brewing.
Well, thanks for helping us through this, Mike.
We appreciate your help. Always.
Good talking with you, as always.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Tim Slecker and Jim Santel will join us. Stephanie Miller is next. That's it for us.
Yeah, maybe.
Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. We hope.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.